Hello, welcome back, Geo Peeps. That's probably not a cool name. I really want to come up with a cute little cool name for our little community. So if you have a fun, clever idea, drop it in the comments below. I am loving all your suggestions so far, and I really mean that. Before I get started with the rest of the video today, I do want to thank you for pouring into the comments all of your tips and advice. I want you to know that I am really incorporating them into my journey. A lot of you have been doing the journey much longer than I have, or even just as long as I have, and you've had so much amazing progress. Some of you even greater than mine has been. Um, so I take your advice as a very valuable one, and I know that if it's something that you're suggesting is because you tried it, it's working for you, and I want it to work for me as well. So I do want you to know that I do read your comments. I am incorporating your tips and advice, in whatever way I can into my journey because I want to be successful on this journey. Before I started sharing on YouTube, I truly thought, you know what? Let me start Zepbound and let me just lose a bunch of weight and let me come, later in the year and show all of my progress because this is a really, difficult environment to share a weight loss journey in. You get a lot of criticism, and I'm taking it as constructive criticism, but you do get a lot of criticism as in, well, hey, I've been doing the journey just as long as you have, and I've lost double the weight or three times the weight that you've lost. So it can be really difficult and challenging to hear that kind of feedback and say, well, you know what, maybe I shouldn't share my journey because it's just not that good enough. But I'm continuously trying to remind myself we should never compare our journeys. Simply Taisha says it the best. We should never compare our journeys. And I'm reminding myself of how important that is because my journey is my own, is unique to me, and I will be successful. And I want to document that. And I cannot wait. I'm so excited to see what happens 6 months or a year from now and what I'm looking like and what my weight loss is looking like. But I know that a lot of that is possible if I take your suggestions, tip, and advice into account. And I am 100% doing that. And today you're going to see how I'm incorporating a little bit of that already. Let's talk about injection. My injection was yesterday, Thursday, May 22nd. I did it in the right arm this time because my last two injections were in my stomach. That's what my doctor suggested to stay away from my thighs due to a rash. But for me, my stomach is the area where I've noticed the greatest side effects. Last week, I had headaches almost every day. I was incredibly constipated. And the worst side effect of all was the bloating. Like, I just felt like a walking balloon every single day. And there was no way for me to relieve that, that feeling. So this week, I decided I'm switching it up and I'm going to go ahead and do the arm and just hope that I have less issues. Since week 10, I have had absolutely no site reactions, and I am on week 13 of my journey right now. If you are new, thank you for being here. And I just want to recap a little bit of the facts about my journey. My starting weight was 265.4. I started with Zepbound 2.5 for 8 weeks. I did that for 2 whole months before I titrated up to 5 milligrams, which is what I'm currently on. I finished my first box and now I'm on my second box. That would be week 5 of 5 milligrams. This week for my weigh in, my current weight is 251.7 pounds. So that means that this last week I dropped zero point 0.7 pounds. I know it's not a lot, but slow and steady wins the race. And the biggest takeaway I can take from this week is I did not gain weight. I did not gain weight, and I will take that because for a lot of my life, every single week when I would weigh in, I would gain weight. And that's exactly how I got to almost, 300 pounds, if you will. And the fact that I did not gain weight, that's the victory that I'm walking away with. Now, another side effect that I'm going to be honest, I don't know if it's just like a normal part of being a woman. The ladies here can maybe tell me. I know people talk about hair loss on GLP-1s, because of malnutrition, you're not eating enough, you're not taking the right amount of supplements or the right supplements. but I don't know if I'm dealing with hair loss like quite yet. I checked my head and I did not see any like balding spots. So I'm wondering if it's just I'm shedding a lot of hair. At what point is a hair loss is what I'm getting at. Like if you experience hair loss using a GLP-1, can you tell me in the comments how you knew it was hair loss? I'm sorry if that's a dumb question, but I'm sharing a little video here of what it's looking like when I run my fingers through my head. I mean, it's like it's not balls of hair, but there's a lot of hair coming out. I have been taking since I started my journey biotin and a multivitamin every single day. So I'm just hoping that it's just shedding, it not turning into hair loss. I don't know. I'm not sure. If you're experiencing something like that, can you just share, you know, what you did and what worked for you to kind of stop that? Because I definitely don't. I already have such little hair. I just don't want to make it any worse. See, even right now. All right. I want to move on to subscriber shout outs. So many of you guys, like I said, have suggested tips and advice that I truly am taking very seriously, and I am incorporating it into my journey. So there's some people that I really want to thank. Patty, I want to start with you. You reminded me to focus on non-scale victories. Last week, I didn't lose anything. I didn't gain, but I also just did not lose anything. And you reminded me that it's okay to celebrate non-scale victories. So the non-scale victory that I decided to focus on this week was the fact that I actually had more steps. I moved more. I exercised more this week. It probably had to do with a little trip that me and my daughter did to Epcot. And we walked around the world, and we even went around to Disney's Boardwalk because it connects. So I got a lot of good miles in that day, and I was drenched in sweat, but the steps were worth it. So today, that's what I'm focusing on, is that non-scale victory. Subscriber Never the Same Love Twice. You suggested that I try the Taylor Farm sweet kale salad and the Real Good Chicken. I have added both of them to my drive up order at Walmart. I'm glad that they have them in stock. So I want to thank you for that. That is a meal that I'm going to be having for dinner this week. Kim King, you recommended that I try to cook up some shrimp and cauliflower rice. The good news is I actually have both items in my freezer, so I will definitely be trying that this week. Here's my challenge with cauliflower items. I ate so much cauliflower everything. Rice, mashed potatoes, like casseroles, pizza. Like I ate so much cauliflower when I did keto 4 years ago. So I got a little bit sick of it, but easing back into it, I realized how healthy it is, and I realize how much more it helps to cook down your vegetables for bloating. So I know that if I, start eating more heated veggies, it will help with the bloating. So your recommendation is great, and it is something I'm going to try. It'll be in next week's video. Janice, thank you for the tip to up my lunch protein with a clear protein drink. I immediately pulled up my Target and I found Seek Watermelon Clear Protein. It tastes just like a Jolly Rancher. It has 22 grams of protein. My issue is the whey flavor. I can still taste it in the back. And, I'm not truly like a milk person. I only truly have milk with my coffee. So it's something that I struggle with. I have been drinking it every day since I got it. I think the bottle comes with maybe 15 servings, one scoop, 15 of those. So I'm definitely drinking it. It's a great recommendation. It definitely gives me a lot of more protein. I just have to, kind of work my way through fighting against that whey flavor that I'm not a true fan of. Chase, you recommended that I start logging my meals to keep myself accountable. I definitely am. My phone, I am a Samsung user, and my phone has a health app. And I have been, entering my meals, based on the serving. I don't weigh my food. So could I be overeating? 1,000%, but I'm trying to at least catalog how much I believe I am eating. There will be a point where I know I'm going to get very strict about the calories that I'm consuming. And I'm working my way to that. But right now, I don't want to nickel and dime every single calorie that I'm taking in because I just don't know that that's sustainable. With all of the change in legislation for medication, and I am on the branded, Tirzepatide, but I don't know, what if my circumstances change and I don't get this covered by insurance anymore? Like, is logging every single one of my calories something that I can keep up even if I'm not on the medicine? I'm not sure that I can. So, I'm building myself up to, logging in on my calories. So I want to thank you for that nudge. It's something that I'm definitely working myself to. Priscilla, you suggested that I try the cottage cheese with berries for breakfast. It's something that you have regularly, and I definitely had it a few times this week. I had strawberries and blueberries in my grocery haul, so it was very quick and easy and just perfect for a busy morning when I'm getting my son ready to go drop him off at school. So I love that. Thank you for suggesting it. Susan and Shonda, I want to thank you both for the reminder to never compare our journeys to anyone else. I know the three of us are a little bit frustrated in maybe how slow our progress is going. It's progress nonetheless, but I love that the three of us were kind of like same exact path right now. I appreciate you guys supporting me, and I'm encouraging you in your journeys as well. And I just trust that big wins are coming for all three of us. And there was a subscriber. I wish I remembered your name. I don't. But you shared that you lost 44 pounds in just 12 weeks. So, in the same amount of time that I've basically been doing mine, you lost more than double the same amount. But you did that by combining your GLP-1 with the keto. And you suggested I stop eating so much rice and noodles. I want to thank you for that. I'm going to take that as constructive criticism. And I'm going to tell you that I don't know that keto long term is for me. Um, I did it 4 years ago. I did it for a whole year. I did lose a bunch of weight, but I didn't keep the weight off because the minute I stopped eating, keto foods or a keto diet, the weight started to creep back up. So keto, is it long term for me? Probably not. But could I work on reducing my carb intakes? Absolutely doable. And it is something that I'm slowly making changes to be able to add that more regularly to my diet. So thank you for that. Now, as far as movement this week, so far, it's only Friday, but so far I've walked a total of 11 miles. I've averaged about 2.5 miles a day, and I've gotten in three at home strength training videos. They're only 20 minutes. I put them on YouTube. Me and my husband do them together. I think my challenge right now, or where I'm struggling with my strength training videos, is I'm using 3 pound dumbbells and a 10-pound kettlebell. I'm wondering if that's enough. If you are doing training videos, can you tell me if I should be doing more? I mean, I'll tell you, when I'm just, doing the 3 pound dumbbells, oh my God, I'm dying. But it also feels like I'm chickening out, and like I really should be just bumping it up and doing more, like a 10-pound dumbbell and a 20-pound kettlebell. So, in the long term, what's more? What's more? What's going to give me better results? Like more reps at the 3 pounds, or just, higher weight at those 10-pound dumbbells, but less reps? I don't know. I'm not a fitness trainer. So, if you are one, can you tell me which way I should go? Maybe that will help with my results. Um, Looking ahead, something that I'm going to work on this week specifically because I'm about to go on vacation is I want to log everything this week. I want to do that for two reasons. I want to make sure that I'm not overeating right before a trip. I want to see if logging everything will actually push a bigger result. Like, will it bring a bigger loss? So I'm doing it for those two reasons, like kind of prepping for vacation, make sure I'm not overeating, and trying to see if right before I get go on this trip, will there be a bigger loss? That would be something that I would like to experiment with. I am, just like I said, 1 week away from vacation. I'm going to be going on a cruise, and I'm going to be filming from the cruise. I'm so excited, and hopefully, I'll have more good news to share with you guys from the ocean. Hopefully, I'm really thrilled to see third cruise using a GLP-1, and I am really excited to see what's going to happen. Am I going to lose weight? Am I going to stay the same? As long as I don't gain, that's the victory that I'm going with. My plan on this cruise is just like the last two. I'm going to hit the gym, and I'm going to watch what I eat. I'm going to enjoy my vacation, but I'm going to be mindful about what I am eating. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you all. Thank you so much for being here. Through every step, every weigh in, and every challenge, you guys are motivating me so much. This community means everything to me. You guys mean everything to me. Thank you for commenting. Thank you for leaving me a positive word. Thank you for suggesting, a specific tip or advice. I welcome it all. This week, for your comment below, can you describe your week using only emojis? I thought it would be fun to give that a try. So I'm going to post my week too using only emojis. See if you can guess what kind of week I had. Thank you so much, you guys. I will see you next week. Bye. This way. Nope, this way. Come.
Help.